speak more on this, I am joined now by Sanjeev Unniyal, advocate and political analyst, Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, joining us on the show. Ahead in the show, I'm also going to be speaking with Brinda Karat, senior leader and of the CPIM and Politburo member. But first, let me just go through all of the action today and the responses that are coming to it. Mr. Srivastava, I want to understand why there are some who are questioning the ban, saying that we don't support what the PFI did, but they shouldn't have been banned. Can you explain that logic to me?
See, actually, nobody supports violence, nobody supports violent protests, breaking government buildings, breaking vehicles, creating a problem. So that is the wrong way of protesting also. So we do not support all those activities. We all stand for the integrity of India and we stand by the Indian Constitution. Now, there are many things that have come to light. 8 years this government has been in power since 2014. And suddenly 2 months ago, you wake up and you say it has spread, the PFI has spread into 23 states. And look at the sleeper cells, look at the number of recruits they have had. And you start taking out their histories and you suddenly start accelerating a ban. So what was the NIA doing for the last 8 years is a very big question that we need to ask. Was the government actually trying to promote PFI because it benefited its Hinduvadi politics? That is the first question. Second question was what Comrade Brinda was speaking today was, and which is very logical. I mean, bans, SIMI turned into PFI, PFI could turn into something else. So till the people of the nation feel connected with the mainstream, especially the minorities, it is very difficult to improve the situation. So you may ban PFI, you may take actions against such organizations which are responsible for questioning the integrity of the nation.
So let me summarize
parallel confidence building measures with the people of the minority, especially the youth, should take place. Yeah.
Okay, so your question, your problem with this is why so late and what's the point? Simply put, that's your question. Why so late and simply and what's the point? Mr. Unniyal, would you like to respond to that? No. Yeah. All right, finish your point, Mr. Srivastava.
Just 10 more seconds.
No, 1 minute.
And if there is a
finish your point. We're in no tearing hurry.
There should also be a... Yeah, just 10 more seconds, Unniyalji, and then you can answer me. And the last point is that even Hinduvadi organizations like the RSS, the Bajrang Dal, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad do not have a very clean track record. 1948, the first terrorist of this nation was Nathuram Godse. 3 times the RSS has been banned. Today, when we see posters where you
so
say
third point is what about
discussions are going to take place.
So your arguments essentially are why so late? Will it help? And what about others? It's best to break it down. Unniyal, Mr. Unniyal, please respond.
Yes.
Tamanna, in a nutshell, I'll go directly to the person who was saying so many things about PFI. In 2010, Professor Joseph, hands to hands, before his family, had been chopped publicly. And that was part and parcel of the person who was right now talking about, he was giving so many adjectives to PFI. That was not a BJP RSS man. Professor Joseph belonged to exactly left parties. So this is hypocrisy of these peoples. I am surprised. Number of times they have killed Naxalites also, communists also. There's a track record of this. So I don't know why he is supporting. So he is in a big hypocrisy showing through what Mr. Vivek Srivastava just said. I'll put certain examples and blasts which they have done. Blunders. Kacheri blast, Lucknow blast, PFI people, Sheetal Mata, Desh Masha, Gorakhpur blast, Sankat Mochan blast, Jaipur blast, Ahmedabad, Mumbai train blast. In सब का खुलासा जब हुआ when Batla House has taken place. Northeastern, not Delhi Eastern, Northeast Delhi blast has taken place. And Shaheen Bagh, Farmers Andolan. So these parts and these all were the witnesses of what PFI did and in last so many years. Now I'll give the second answer of this, Vivek Srivastava. PFI and RSS, kahan Raja Bhoj, kahan Gangu Teli. First of all, if Godse has killed, he was part and parcel of any Hindu organization, then there should be 36 ka aakda with Mahatma Gandhi ji. But surprisingly, in 1934, in Wardha, RSS Pratham Varsh Shivir, Gandhi ji attended the Shivir. he asked the name
No,
of the
but
person.
Mr.
who was
Unniyal,
taking
I'm
his
sorry,
left,
but how is that
right
relevant
Samsevak
today?
also. He was surprised.
No.
Then he's given a
One
sketch of the
minute.
complete Shiva. I'll be saying.
Why
Let
are
me
we
complete.
going into this?
He said.
No.
He said, Tamanna. Tamanna, he said that
He's talked about
I've not
Nathuram
seen any
Godse.
untouchability
He's
in the
talked
RSS
about
camp. This type of
He's
adjectives have been used by Mahatma Gandhi ji for RSS.
yeah. Okay, so you're now talking about the relationship between Mahatma Gandhi and RSS. I think it's diverting from what we're talking about today. We're talking about PFI. Did PFI need to be banned? Did PFI need to be banned? Well, yes. There seems to be little doubt. I can't find a single person, including Mr. Srivastav, who's saying that PFI was doing some great deeds. So there is no question in anyone's mind that PFI needed to be banned. Did they indulge in violent acts? Yes. No one's denying it. The only concern that Mr. Srivastav seems to have is why just PFI and not others. Can you answer that? Is there any answer to that? Do you think it's a relevant question, Mr. Unniyal?
No. Why others? Do we have any track record of RSS? RSS done these type of blunderous mistakes. What they have done?
No,
they were anti-national. They were anti-country. They were always against the country. Their link of Easter Sri Lanka happened. What happened in the Sri Lankan blast? 300 people died. They have ISIS links also. So RSS, I am not going to compare RSS because that is their trap. You want to put me in the trap of that RSS. I don't explain. This is the question mark on PFI. Whether Vivek Srivastav support PFI, it has been banned. Why it has been banned so long? I'll give him the answer because prosecution is doing. They have to collect the witnesses. They have to collect the evidence.
1 minute, Mr. Srivastav, you've come on the show for the first time. We don't talk over each other on this show. Let him finish.
Tamanna.
Yeah.
Tamanna, I'm giving the answer why they have acted so long. Why there was a gap of 5, 6, 7, 8 years. This is the question of Vivek Srivastav. I'm giving that answer. Because this is a very important thing because this is a UAPA amended act of 2019. In 1973, the Congress launched this act and they have taken Pota Tada back. In 2003, they repealed those acts. So 2019, this was the government which amended these acts due to which an organization instead of an organization, an individual can be booked. So that is the on execution part. They have done wonderful job because after amending the Act of 2019, they are executing it by way of, I think, arresting these people, 430 or 350 people of PFI. Now, why it was late? It again shows if the government is declaring somebody as a terrorist, anti-national, then they should have a sufficient proof, sufficient witness, sufficient evidences with them. So they might be tracking all these things.
So they did a thorough job. So the responses are that they did a thorough job. So the responses to the question is they did a thorough job. That's why they took 7, 8 years to ban PFI. They deserve to be banned. That's what Mr. Unniyal says. And there's no point comparing it to the RSS because they've not committed violent acts. So there's no proof of them committing violent acts like Mr. Srivastav claims. Tehseen, you know, I want to come actually to a completely different point. This conflation of PFI with RSS and other organizations seems to further polarize the debate and try to ascribe each organization to a particular religious community. And that's what I find most bothersome. And that's what I think we need to explore. Can anyone today say that the PFI represents Muslims or that the RSS represents every Hindu?
No.
Why has this conversation become about why PFI and not XYZ? Don't you think that's the problem?
Good evening, Tamanna, and I'm honestly so grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to explore this because this is something I've been tweeting about. The unpopular front of India, not the popular front of India. Nobody, I can tell you this as a matter of fact, most Muslims don't know, and you've not taken any religion's name, but I will take it because most Muslims don't know what this organization is, what it stands for, and they're very uncomfortable that this organization or even Mr. OAC speaks for them. Similarly, most Hindus don't consider RSS to be their organization that represents them. Otherwise, for example, the BJP would have got even bigger mandate. It got 41% of the votes in the country, which is, it doesn't even get all the Hindu votes. So that's not, for first, it is not Hindu versus Muslims. Muslims do not stand by PFI. They don't understand PFI. It is my political understanding that the PFI helps the current union government win elections by polarizing the situation. Otherwise, Tamanna, a very simple question for the learned political analyst, Mr. Unniyal. First time there was a riot in Delhi, okay. How can a second time a riot by the same organization happen in Delhi when Amit Shah ji is supposed to be the most powerful home minister in this country after Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji? So either Amit Shah ji and the BJP knew about the PFI and its involvements, or they were simply not up to the task. There cannot be a third option to it. There can only be two options. Point number two, sir. The most honorable Prime Minister of India on 8 November 2016 told us, he said it on Mirror Now Live as in all other channels, that after demonetization, terror fundings will completely stop. So then PFI continued getting funding. So either the honorable Prime Minister failed in his endeavors, or the honorable Prime Minister's government closed their eyes to PFI getting such amount of funding. That's point number two. So why has then PFI been banned today? It's a logical question by the government. Because night after night, Tamanna, the opposition activists and even those from communities ascribed to the PFI, which is not associated to, have been saying PFI must be banned. And Tamanna, what's the interesting thing? Today, who came out and said PFI should not be banned? Mr. OAC. Now, after 2014, two organizations' stature has grown. PFI and Mr. OAC's organization. Until 2014, neither.
No, so what's the point you're making,
benefits from it? I leave it for your viewers. Your viewers will understand.
What's the point you're making? What's the point you're making?
The BJP encourages this polarization.
Completely confused.
Either the BJP is incompetent, either the BJP is... No, sir, you are confused. Either the BJP is incompetent and it allowed a terror organization to grow, or the BJP encouraged willfully polarization so it gains politically. Only two possibilities. There cannot be a third possibility. Just answer one specific question. Riots happened in Delhi one time. PFI was involved, says the Home Ministry, not me. How can the riots happen second time again by the same PFI and happen in all states where there are elections? Tamanna, look at the pattern. Rajasthan, the election next year,
the
PFI
political allegation. 1 minute. Let Mr. Unniyal respond.
Just 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. Pune, there is municipal corporation elections, PFI. So either it's a pattern or they're incompetent.
Okay, Mr. Unniyal, I will break that down to ask you that why it has PFI. Now, there's no doubt, like I said, there's no doubt PFI indulged in illegal activities. There is a long list starting from several years ago. So there is some merit to the question that why were these guys roaming around free, opening more and more offices and recruiting more and more people if they've done heinous things like cut off someone's hand, murder people, etc. So there is merit to that question. But my point is, has PFI become the boogeyman politically for everything? If students are protesting that we want to wear hijab, PFI did it. If we want to arrest a journalist, he is linked to PFI. If something happened like the Delhi riots Tehseen's talking about, it's PFI's fault. Did PFI also become a convenient boogeyman? 1 minute. Let Mr. Unniyal respond, please.
Tamanna, this is a very important question you have asked. I'll not be going into, one of my teachers used to say, if you cannot convince, confuse. I'll not be going into that issue. But I'll be going directly to answering your question. This is very important because if a person, if a government is very samvedanshil, very intelligent, or having a particular depth, then definitely it will think twice before declaring any person a terrorist. If my learned friends has gone through what this UAPA is, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967, but amended by 2019. This is the latest version of this. So I'll be going, because I'm an advocate, I was going through all the in and out. Section 15 says if a NIA is booking a particular person under Terrorist Act, then he is be declared terrorist. Besides going into witness box, besides going into so many cross examinations, he'll be declared a terrorist. So it tells If an innocent person, let it be of any caste, has been declared as a terrorist, as far as this NIA is concerned, NSA officer is concerned, NIA officer is concerned, then it is a big, vulnerable question for the family also. So they have given 7, 8, 9 chances to a person. He is going into Shaheen Bagh, tracked. He had been going into northeastern Delhi, tracked. Now he is going to Hijab, again he has been tracked. Now number of blasts. So these were the traps in which he has been given so many evidences to the investigating agencies. That's why
Tamanna, please.
They go on a blazing space of 5, 6, 7 years. That was the only reason.
Okay. So there is solid investigation
Tamanna,
to
I
back
just don't
these
understand
claims,
this.
says
Tamanna,
Mr. Unniyal. One sec. Let Tehseen speak first, then Vivek. Yes.
Exactly, Tamanna.
My learned friend Mr. Unniyal said something shocking on TV, and to be very clear, I'm paraphrasing him. Mr. Unniyal, please correct me after I finish if I'm wrong. You are saying that the Honorable Home Minister of India and the Honorable Prime Minister of India in 8 years allowed willful terrorist activities
PFI,
to happen only to trap a person, even though he
That's
knew.
not what he
PFI,
said.
yes, PFI.
That's not what he said.
He knew, even though he knew.
That's not what he said.
B, please.
No.
B. Second thing, Mr.
Yeah.
No, he's saying that one chance, second chance,
No,
third chance.
Tamanna,
Let's assume first time they were Delhi riots. Tamanna,
clear
first time
what
they were
I've said.
Delhi riots. So the Honorable Home Minister said, okay, wait, let's see second time if they fall into the trap, then
Tamanna,
I will go and ban them. People died in the first riots. So you waited for
one
the second
minute.
riots, you
You're
waited for Karnataka,
you're
Rajasthan.
convoluting the argument, Tehseen, and you know you're doing that.
These are
1 minute.
hallucinations, confusion.
1 minute. No.
Cannot give us.
I'll tell you what he's saying. I'll tell you what I think he's saying. Mr. Unniyal, actually, I should not be speaking on anyone's behalf. Why don't you respond to him? What I understood he's saying is that there was a tracking of the presence of the same people in various organizations. Was that, what are you saying, Mr. Unniyal? Is that what you see? That's what I understood.
8 years.
That's what I understood.
Tamanna, what I said, your crores of viewers can easily understand. But the persons with the chashma of a different international views,
important सवाल है, आप फिर से बता दीजिए कि आप क्या कह रहे हैं.
he doesn't know where he is
I'm
going.
not smart.
The person who is sailing in the 2 boats, I cannot convince the persons who are sailing in the 2
but
boats.
clarify,
He doesn't know where he has to go. But I'll again
convince
repeat,
me.
for the
Clarify
sake
to
of
me.
clarity. This particular, yes, we have to talk about PFI. Why they are the culprits, not been tracked, not been under booking by the NIA officers. So why they have taken 2, 3, 4 years of gap? This I have said. You have to use presence of mind. A man with the common prudence can easily understand what I am saying. Is that a terrorist is a big word. This is a very important word. And UAPA Act covers if a person has been booked under UAPA Act. What NIA did right now, has been declared as a terrorist. He doesn't have so many opportunities to defend himself because this is a very strong law. And that's why Congress, the weak Congress, has taken Tada back, Pota back in 2003. These 2 laws had been repealed. But Shasanam Dandain, this government believes in Shasanam Dandain Chalakya version. That's why they have given this stringent law into the action, waited for 3-4 years.
1 minute. 1 sec. I'm going to go to Vivek Srivastava. Let him come in.
And then
Vivek
he has been
Srivastava.
booked under certain sections. This is my presumption.
I think
I'm not an authorized person.
Since the question no longer is, and nobody is asking today, or nobody is saying today that the PFI did not deserve to be banned. Right? Am I correct in understanding that as your position, Mr. Srivastava? Nobody is saying that they were an excellent organization who were doing a yeoman service.
Don't forget Joseph.
Absolutely correct.
Okay,
Professor Joseph. Vivek.
1 minute. No. So they deserve to be banned.
Yes.
So then, what exactly is the contention? I'm not understanding, Mr. Srivastava. What is the contention? And I'm repeating what I said to Tehseen. By conflating, because you said it that why banning PFI, not RSS?
Yes.
Are you not increasing the polarization in society and joining hands with those who are trying to ascribe this terrorist organization, which is now banned, to a certain minority religion? Aren't you not helping in that whole situation and that narrative? Are you not boosting it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will need 30 seconds and I have 3 points to make. Number 1, 8 years if it takes you to identify which organization and which people are anti-national or not, I do not know what to say about the governance of this country. 8 years, just imagine the kind of blasts that could have taken place, the kind of sleeper cells that could have developed, and the kind of people that could have been recruited. Sir,
Everyone gets to speak.
I agree, I am not in favor of PFI, sir. Unniyal, sir, I am not in favor of PFI. Yeah, listen to me now, okay? So, I mean, this shows the governance. But actually,
Vivek,
the BJP
I
RSS
cry from core of my heart
to remain.
Professor Joseph's hand had been chopped before his family. I'm crying. He was doorman.
One minute, gentlemen. No. Mr. Unniyal, I request you to wait for your turn. Let him speak. No, Mr. Unniyal,
don't behave like
please
Chinese.
don't bolne dijiye. That's not fair. What you're doing is not fair. 1 minute. Let him speak. Yes, Mr. Srivastava, go on.
30 seconds, yeah, okay, fine. What I'm saying is that for the last 8 years, the BJP RSS combined actually let the PFI grow. It let it do its activities. It let the Muslims and the Islamic world get a bad name because it suited their Hindu polarization politics. Only when you can show the Muslims in a bad name, in a bad phrase, in a bad place, doing bad things, can the Hindutva politics, because fundamentalist organizations, Islamic fundamentalism and Hindu fundamentalism, they both feed on each other. That is the reason why no action was ever taken. And finally, when 2024 is coming, something new has to be done. No, absolutely. It's common sense. 8 years, and you are not questioning people. After 8 years, you wake up with common sense.
Conspiracy theories are not proven by common sense.
And he's giving us some vague tracking theory.
Quick response to Mr. Unniyal, and then I'm going on to Brinda Karat, who's been waiting.
Have been arrested?
1 minute.
Forget about the ban. My question to Mr. Unniyal is, my question to Mr. Unniyal is, just a question to Mr. Unniyal. Mr. Unniyal, forget about the ban. I am asking you a simple question. Sleeper cells were being developed, as is being told by NIA now. Why was the action not taken in the last 8 years? How many people of PFI were arrested?
He's answered that 3 times.
What was the action taken by the central government?
He's answered that 3 times.
Can you take
It's the same answer. Wow, do you want to listen to the same answer? He's answered it 3 times.
No action was taken. Nobody was arrested.
Okay. 1 minute. Quick last word from Mr. Unniyal and Mr. Poonawala, and then I'm going to Brinda Karat, who's waiting. Yes, Mr. Unniyal.
Tamanna, they are not having any concrete answer of it because Professor Joseph's has been chopped, and that's why this organization has been limited, squeezed like anything, shrinked like anything. And why RSS has grown, that school of thought cares for his cadre, cares for his family. They are not bothered about that. China used to do with its Sainiks, after 7 years, after what happened in the Doklam. They have not identified the Chinese Sainiks. So they are part and parcel of them only. Communist Party of India. That's the branch of China. So that's why they are branch. They are not indigenous background. So this is the problem. They have forgotten just to attack on BJP. They have forgotten Professor Joseph.
No, Mr. Unniyal, I mean, you had this opportunity to respond. You have wasted it talking about something entirely different. So then, your time is over on that part. 1 minute. Tehseen, last word, and then I have to wrap this. I'm going on to Brinda Karat. Yes, Tehseen, last word.
Just very brief. I want your viewers to know 2 things. Mr. Unniyal on your show kept saying that bans could not happen because the erstwhile UPA government, of which left was a party too, was soft on terror. I want to tell your viewers that the Simmi's final ban was upheld in the Honorable Supreme Court of India by KG Balakrishnan in 2006 when the Congress and left went government together. UAPA was first gotten in 1969 by Srimati Indira Gandhi, amended in 72 by Srimati Indira Gandhi, amended in 86 by Sri Rajiv Gandhi, amended in 2004 by Dr. Manmohan Singh, and amended in 2008 by Dr. Manmohan Singh. So the fact that the BJP comes here or its supporters come here and lie, the Simmi was banned under very strict provisions in the Supreme Court and upheld by the Chief Justice of India. So don't fall for their propaganda. The question was, why was PFI allowed to grow when you very well knew that there was one riot in Delhi and the same people created a riot again? Either you are incompetent or hand in glove. They cannot be a third answer.
No. If they're saying they need to follow the rule of law and really have enough. If they really need to follow the rule of law and have enough material to justify the ban possibly in a court of law, then perhaps that's what they've done. We don't know. But a big action is taken. My question is that should we not look at this merely as a law and order action taken by the central government? Why add that political tadka? I want to thank all of you for joining